30.
20.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ignition sequence start.
This is just the beginning.
Are you ready?
Here comes the best part.
1, 2, 3,
go.
Life Matters, a 5-time winner of the best morning show in Wisconsin. Hosted by Nancy Douglas and Tom Giovanoni.
All of you, get ready.
Life Matters begins on Lake 96.1.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Hold on, I'm going to make a noise. Okay.
What are you doing over there?
I know. I'm moving the chair around, bumping into the counter, you know, all that stuff I'm supposed to do.
Right.
That's on the sign that tells everybody not to do.
Renee's sign.
Yes. Renee's sign. Poor Renee.
Touch nothing.
Renee broke her arm again, for those of you that don't know.
Yeah, I can't wait to get her in here. Wonder if she went all the way under the car.
She did not. She did tell me that, but I feel terrible for her. I don't know what the...
Yeah, I do too.
I don't know. With the bubble wrap is what she's getting for Christmas.
Yeah.
That's all I can think of.
A big old spool of it.
Or Mikey, he's getting it so he can roll her in it because I don't know.
She did not have her 3 points of contact.
She did not have her 3 points of contact, and she actually did it. Like, we talked about it, and then she fell.
Right.
We talked about it on the show, and then she fell.
Yeah.
And she, in fact, did not go under the car like she said, but she was going to the car. So
She seemed pretty proud of it.
yeah, I don't think proud was the word. I mean, we got a text. We didn't get a call, so
No.
I don't think she
Well,
was willing
true.
to talk about it very
Yeah.
much. But anyway, you said that last week my car was at home more than often, stalker, and or more often than normal.
Good fix.
I could actually, talk. Yes, it was. I did work from home a few days last week just because I can, and so when I can, I do. However, one day I was there waiting for my, are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
My washer dryer.
Oh, cool.
Woohoo! No more laundromat. No more laundromat. Although I will say this, the laundromat on the north side of Elkhorn, where the
pretty
Hanson,
awesome.
it's really is. It's nice. It's clean.
Yep.
It's not that expensive. You
Nope.
get credit when you buy, and then you can turn. Like, I always paid for all my washing, and probably about 75% of my drying, I used the credit that I earned.
Oh, cool.
So it was almost free.
Yeah, nice new machines.
Yeah.
It's really a nice laundry.
It really is nice. And so I've been going there, and, you know, like I said, the advantage to it is that I would put the clothes in all at once, and then you move them to the dryer all at once.
Right.
And then they're all done all at once.
Right.
But you know, the drawback is you have to drive them there. You have to drive them home, and then, oh my God, you got to pay for it, huh?
Yeah.
But we weren't to the point where we could get that room. We could get that washer and dryer in that room that I wanted. Anyway.
Sure beats rocks at the river.
And so I gave up and just got the room to the point that I could get it to, and we went and we bought the washer dryer. However, we're calling it the Dosher because it's a one unit. I did not get two separate units. I went with the new modernized, put the stuff in, hit your settings for wash, hit your settings for dry, and walk away for an hour and a half or hour and 45 minutes, which to me is no longer than actually what happens with me is it usually takes me about 6 hours to get a full load through because I put it in the washing machine and then I forget about it. And then I go back like 4 hours later and it's done. So I'm like, oh, well, this actually saves me time.
Sure.
Right? Because I don't forget about it. I mean, that's the only drawback is that, you know, normally if you have two machines, you put something in the washing machine, you put it in the dryer. While that thing's in the dryer, you put the second load in or whatever. But honestly, when you do the math and you go back and forth and everything, it doesn't make much difference to me. There's only two of us in the house, you know, and the dogs. I mean, whatever. It's just not that big of a deal to me to not be able to do one thing and have two machines going at once.
Well, that's the convenience of it being at home.
Well, my husband said, I hate it when you put something in before you leave for work and then you go to work and you leave it sitting there all day and then to come home and put it in the dryer. So this way, when you put the load in, you're going to put the load in and it's going to wash it and dry it so that it's sitting there dry when you get home and it hasn't sat wet all these hours that you've been at work. And I'm like, well, you know what? You work from home.
I have a multitude of questions coming up.
Fire away.
Well, we'll start with, if he's there, throw it in the dryer.
I just
That's
said.
what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I go,
Yeah.
our laundry room's right out the bathroom, but the green light's on the dryer or on the washing machine, there are clothes in there, so I throw them in the dryer.
I asked him the same thing. I'm like, well, if you have a problem with it, why do you Like you work from home.
That's just an observation.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to sound stupid, but your washing machine also dries them? Mm-hmm. So you never take them out. It goes from wash to dry.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
It's a newfangled thing. Yeah.
And how does it work, this newfangled thing?
I don't know, but let me tell you
Are
something.
you going to wind up with like hot water all over the place?
No.
Okay.
It sucks all the water out.
Right, in the rinse cycle.
And spins it and everything.
Right.
And then all that stuff, all that part of it shuts down. And then dryer mode kicks in and it starts drying. It's just a one-man operation
Wow.
now. And let me tell you something. So the schematics of my house, the specs of, compared to the specs of the machines, you literally come within
millimeters?
Not even millimeters, like a hair of getting anything
thickness?
up and down. Because, of course, I wanted this machine upstairs on the second floor
Right.
where all of the laundry, is going to be.
Right.
And that way
It makes sense.
So all I have to do is kitchen towels go upstairs to go to the laundry, and that is all I'm carrying. Right. So how many moms out there already have thought of this and have done this? Raise your hand, most of them, if they can. Okay. So that's what I wanted to do. I thought, no problem. Everything's 30 inches wide. We got this. No problem. Oh, yeah, no.
Not
the
your
machine, well, yeah, they are. It was the staircase.
Did you take it up the back stairs?
Oh, God, no. I didn't want to kill anyone. No.
They had a hard time on the... Really?
Yeah, because the stair... In most places of the staircase, so you go up 4 stairs and then there's a landing. Mm-hmm. And then you go up 7 more stairs and there's a landing. And then you
Not
go
that
up.
you've counted.
Yes, I have. And I don't know if you know this or not. I might be a little OCD.
No.
And then you go up 5 stairs and there's a landing.
Right.
I mean, there's the upstairs.
Right.
So the issue is that the machine was skinny enough to go up the stairs, but when you went to turn the corner, it's not like you could go up the stairs and sit it down and then take it sideways and then set it down and then go up again. You had to turn it on the landing. Pivot!
So you need Ross Geller there. He'd have got you upstairs.
So I 100% have to give just this huge, it's not even a shout out. It's so much more than a shout out to these guys over at Lyle's TV and Appliance. Okay.
They took it up for you.
Well, the 2 guys got there and they were going to take it up there by themselves. The other part of this machine is the fact that it's all one thing. And so
it's heavy.
It's 302 pounds.
Oh, yeah, that's heavy.
So they tried. God love them. They tried. And my husband and I stood there and Ty's like, well, let me get here. And I was like, nope. I am going to guess my homeowner's insurance nor Lyle's liability insurance allows this old man to get involved in carrying this crap up the stairs. Absolutely
hey, Renee,
not. Right.
How's the arm? I got a question.
Like, absolutely not. That's like me trying to get in there and help these guys, right? So they called in 2 other guys. They got it all strapped up, and the 4 of them literally carried this thing up and got it, because if you could lift it higher than that first step, then you did have the room to pivot it, to turn it. But these 2 guys weren't going to get it. Plus, they were trying to do it with a cart. Well, you couldn't turn it at all with a cart on there, whatever. Which
kind of limits you.
Right. So they strapped it all up. They held onto the straps. There were 2 in front and 2 in back. I videoed it. It took them less than 4 minutes to get this thing up those stairs. 302 pounds, 4 guys, took very little damage to anything. Well,
which means there was some damage.
Yeah, well, there has to be, because there was no possible way that there wasn't going to be some paint scrapes or whatever. But I was like, dude, clearly I have not painted this yet. So if something gets nicked up or marked, as long as it's not dented or torn up or whatever.
Right.
But I get it. Like, just don't ruin the $2,000 machine that I just bought, right?
Right.
So anyway, I got to tell you, Lyle's was great. Those guys came over, they got it up the stairs. My husband gave them Christmas bonuses because of it, because we're standing there. I was like, you need to get out your wallet, dude. Like, this is bad. This is horrible. But they were awesome. They were absolutely awesome. The price was right. It actually was less expensive for me to buy the 1 unit, and I'm very excited, although I will take some stuff, bulk things, over to the laundromat once in a while just to visit.
Well, yeah, and you can't beat it.
No.
It does. It's
it's
wear and tear on
really
your stuff.
is fast.
And,
yeah. So, yeah, that was a huge milestone for me.
Well, you're
was
not
getting
going to
that
be able
washer
to
and dryer up there.
do a load and have that dry while you're doing another load and have that dry while you're doing another load kind of thing. You just do it all.
Yeah,
and then
well,
go.
I mean, there's only 2 of us. It's not like I have a ton of laundry.
Well, yeah, but you're
And-
going to have grandkids there once in a while.
Yeah, but I don't do their laundry.
Oh, yeah, tell
Well-
Amy how you do that.
Listen, no, that's not true. I do their laundry, but I just throw it in with ours. Like,
Well,
it's
yeah.
not like they stay for, 6 weeks or something and they become a
I
regular
swear our
member of the
washing machine
family.
is always going.
Yeah.
It seems like it.
Well, and I mean, mine, I might be, but my thing is that the only reason why my husband was into, yes, let's consider this, is because of the number of times I just totally forget that there's even laundry in there until the next day. And I'm like, now I got to wash this again because it's gross.
Well, yeah, you can't leave it sit.
Right. And so he's like, you mean she can just push a few buttons and the load's completely done and she doesn't have to remember to switch it? She doesn't
That's
have to.
crazy.
Yeah. And so he's asking these questions and I was like, doesn't that sound great? And there's an app for it. I can control it from my phone, even though I don't know why I would, because I push start and I come home and it's going to be all done. So unless I'm going to get on the app and have it fold the clothes, I really don't see a reason for the app, but whatever.
Well,
so,
if you find that app, I want to know.
I know. So I'm very excited and I'm very happy with Lyle's, and I was super impressed about these guys getting that thing. 302 pounds is how much that weighed.
Yeah, that's heavy.
They were talking and they were like, so, I wonder how much, like, we're going to have to get a couple guys come and help us and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, we don't even know how much this weighs. I was like, 302 pounds. It's 28.25 inches wide. I know it'll fit through everything. And they're like, why do you? I was
Great.
like, dude, because we have to figure this out to get stuff in this house. It's not normal.
Yeah.
Nothing in this house is normal. But kudos to Lyle's and that whole team. And I saved money. I really did. I saved money. And the guys got it up there. And
You're happy.
I'm perfectly happy. And yeah, I was very impressed. So
Can't beat that.
yeah, I was very happy.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's a big step.
Welcome to laundry at home.
Yeah.
Are you going to leave your stuff right there by the washer dryer so you don't have to, put it in a closet or anything?
Like just move my dresser and everything. Just take it from
I generally leave my stuff right because I built Amy a sliding garbage can.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a counter and the garbage can's underneath it. And there's a shelf behind that goes over to washer and dryer.
Mm-hmm.
So when we fold, our stuff goes wherever our stuff goes. And I just leave mine there. And she said, aren't you going to put that away? I was like, no, I take a shower in the morning, which is right off the laundry room.
Yeah,
Might as well
I
just
will.
grab my clothes there.
No, I'm a big clothes putter awayer.
Yeah, I get yelled at often.
But we are going to find something because now we have room for some kind of laundry organizational center because there's only one unit. There's going to be two.
Right.
That whole wall was going to be taken up. Now it's not, and
Put
it's
a
going to look
folding
dumb.
counter up there
For what? What am I going
for
to?
folding clothes.
Oh, a folding, not yeah.
No, not a tip-up counter. A counter to fold your clothes on.
Yeah. He
Make it
said
efficient.
that. Listen, I didn't have a washer and dryer, but you damn well know I have those holiday towels
I
next
know
to
you
the bathroom
do.
sink. You better believe it. Don't use them because I can't wash them. Well, I mean, I can now, but yeah, I am already. I've got the holiday towels out.
Well, I know. You're overflowed
If I had
at
a
our house.
kitchen, I would definitely have more holiday towels out.
Oh, that should be coming up soon.
That is the January 1 wintertime beginning project. Yes.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
On January 1st, the
Well,
morning of,
I doubt that I'll
we'll
start
be
that
there.
day, but
Bloody Marys in hand.
he'll be there.
The Planning Commission will show up.
I see. No, doesn't she do some kind of crazy run on New Year's, or is that Christmas?
No,
Eve?
she jumps in the lake.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Jack.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, so we're moving along. As you
Yeah,
can
that's
plainly
great.
see.
I'm very happy for you.
Yeah, but it was a tight fit.
So
Well,
how are you feeling today?
Why?
Being, the first day of winter and everything.
Listen, I don't care what the calendar says. Winter happened a long time ago.
Well, it's coming now. That was just a warm-up.
Oh God, just thanks.
Thursday was just a tease. You thought spring was here.
I did. I loved Thursday. Well, Thursday morning.
I got something for Just Stop.
As the afternoon went on, does it have to do with headlights and
Yes.
idiots? Yeah, we'll talk about
My
that too.
God.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
If I had been on duty, I would have ran out of tickets. Dangerous.
there's a lot of reasons why we're glad you're off the roads. Anyway, Chris Duesing is here from Habush Habush and Rottier.
Oh.
Yes. he's going to join us just to talk a little bit about what they do, just to kind of check in, a little year-end thing.
Sure.
And then Sloan Sullivan is here. She is a local author. The book she wrote is Blueberries of Life. And it's about grandparents, but then she wrote it with her granddaughter.
Yeah.
And so Sloan's going to be here to talk about that as well. But coming up, we're going to talk to Chris Duesing first, right here on Lake 96.1. So hang out with us. We'll be right back.
Life Matters continues on Lake 96.1.
Welcome back to Life Matters. You know how much I love the law. Okay,
Yes, we
maybe it's just that I like to argue. I don't know, whatever.
Oh, that's a lot of it.
Whatever.
And you like to be right.
And I do like to be right.
Yeah.
And I will argue with you until I am right. Frankly.
Or you think you're right.
And so,
Or the other guy gives up.
percentage of my wrongness is pretty low, just going to say. Chris Duesing joins us this morning. He is from Habush Habush and Rottier, and your office is here in Lake Geneva. And we just wanted to come in because we wanted to have you come in because everybody knows the name Habush and Rottier. I mean, duh, right? And is Habush? Are you guys like the biggest law firm in Wisconsin now, or give us a little history and tell us about you?
Sure. Yeah, I'm happy to. First of all, it's a pleasure to meet both of you, and I appreciate the opportunity. Habush Habush and Rottier has been around for 90 years. So
Wow.
in 1930, Jesse Habush founded the firm. And it is not the largest law firm in the state of Wisconsin, but it's the largest personal injury law firm in
Okay.
the state of Wisconsin.
I was almost there.
You were half right.
Another right for me.
Yeah. So
The wall is full of check marks.
yeah, well, and we have 13 offices in the state of Wisconsin. And I'm here today because I'm the managing partner of our firm's Lake Geneva office, which is over on Park Drive near Veterans Park. So if you've ever been over that way, you may have driven past my office.
Probably.
But we have currently 33 attorneys in the firm statewide.
Wow.
Our headquarters are located in Milwaukee. Our next biggest office is in Madison, and then in various cities throughout the state.
Sure. So how long have you been with Habush?
I've been with Habush since 2004.
Okay.
So prior
Wow.
to that, right, this is my 31st year of practicing law.
So you started practicing when you were like 8.
You have just made my
I was saying, you don't look like you've been practicing law for over 30 years.
Well, I appreciate that very much. But I have. I graduated in 1995, and I grew up in Milwaukee, or a suburb of Milwaukee, Hales Corners.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I went to law school at Drake University, which is in Des Moines, Iowa. And then after graduation, I moved back to Wisconsin, which is where I grew up and my family's located, and to be truthful, got the first job that I was able to get because the market was extremely tight.
Wow.
And so, anymore, people send out resumes through the computer or digitally. Well, I had to, type them up, mail them out. I'd get a letter back saying, thanks, but we don't have a position for you. I could have wallpapered my room. But,
I got a lot of thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah. Yeah.
but I landed a job, and as I've told my kids, one of whom is now out of college, the other one who's finishing, the first job really is the hardest one to get.
Yeah.
But I took a job, worked there for 2 years, went to a different law firm after that, worked for 7 years, and then took this job at Habush Habush Rottier in 2004.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that, so when you came in, I said, we have met before, but it has been a really, really long time ago. And I think it was, when did they open this Lake Geneva office?
It was prior to my arrival.
Okay.
And I don't recall the exact year, but I'm certain that it was anywhere from 4 to 5 years prior to me joining the firm. So I would like to say it's 1999,
right?
If my math is right.
Yeah, because it was. I'm pretty sure that it was right after you got here to Lake Geneva. You came here to Lake Geneva because they advertised that new office for a little bit, and it was my account, and so I am almost 100% positive that you and I met not very long after you came to work here in Lake Geneva. I just remember.
It could be, I think originally our Lake Geneva office was located somewhere downtown. And I was at that office because I had a case against one of the Habush attorneys at that time. So I got to come to Lake Geneva and see that office. But prior to my joining the firm, they moved to the location where we're at right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I visited the downtown Lake Geneva office either. I think I was, It was over there.
I think it was one that you could have walked right past and not known you'd done it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It blended in.
We're talking with Chris Duesing of Habush Habush and Rottier. So the Lake Geneva office is personal injury is what you guys focus on. And that's car accidents. That's, I have to say, maybe work accidents, or tell us the scope of that.
Well, I'm glad you asked. And honestly, personal injury does cover a wide variety of types of cases. So that can be anything from motor vehicle accidents. It can be boating accidents. It can be construction accidents. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it can involve dog bite incidents.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't personally handle products liability cases, but our firm has a long history of handling cases that involve inherently dangerous products. So that's a pretty unique area of the law, and it requires a particular skill set. Mm-hmm. But a long time ago, and I told you that we opened this firm 90 years ago, before any of us were born. And I think you hear stories about farmers at that time with all kinds of farm equipment, and there wasn't a single safeguard on any of them.
Right.
And despite, I think back then a lot of farm injuries occurred. Mm-hmm. And I would like to say, and I believe that our firm's role in helping some individuals long ago who were injured by farm implements or other dangerous machinery to have changes in production made. I mean, in a couple of words, I would just say that in some ways the world is perhaps a little bit safer place in some respects because of the work that our firm's done.
Oh, I'm sure of that.
Definitely is.
I'm sure of that.
Yeah, the farm equipment is way safer. It was years ago. It was not uncommon for a farmer to be missing digits or an arm or a foot, or because they got caught up in that stuff all the time.
I agreed, and I think probably we live in a different world now, obviously, and it might have been considered by many just an inherent danger of the job,
right?
But it didn't have to be, and
and
I think the evidence of that is just what you said, that equipment and machinery and the like is built in a lot safer way now.
Well, there's a lot of reasons why products grow, products change, products become safer, and you're talking about everything from, like you said, machinery, farm machinery, automobiles, pharmaceuticals, all kinds of things that the reasons why they find out, unfortunately, that there are flaws in a product is maybe somebody got hurt, maybe somebody even, or worse, right? And so they have to go back and change those things. And the laws have changed dramatically with regard to safety standards. So, I would imagine are most of the things that you see come across your desk is because somebody is not complying with laws that exist?
Correct. I mean, in other words, I think, let's put it this way, lawyers have a reputation amongst many people as not being the most upstanding group of people and only really thinking about themselves. And I can honestly tell you, I've been on both sides of these cases. I used to represent large companies, insurance companies, and I was on the other side of these cases, like I told you. So I've seen both sides. And I think it's a more fair view of attorneys who do the work that we do as a group of people that, unfortunately, because of lawsuits, have helped change various industries.
Exactly.
And you're right. We've handled pharmaceutical cases, and we've handled medical device cases. So, for example, this was a few years ago, but we, as a firm, represented a great number of people who had hip implants and knee implants, so for knee and hip replacement surgeries. Unfortunately, one of the manufacturers of those devices had done so in a manner that was not as careful as it should have been. And it led to a lot of problems for those folks.
I want to say I read about this.
It's not good. It's never good. And we don't want bad things to happen to anybody, but they're going to happen.
Sure.
But they're going to happen more when others aren't being as careful as they should. So I would say that, our law firm and attorneys who do the type of things or handle the type of cases that we handle are really interested in things that I think all of us are, which is people taking responsibility for their actions. And I think that's a principle that no matter where you are in your thought process, politically or socially, it's a common thing that, quite honestly, I think everybody believes in.
Yep.
For sure. I mean, if it was your grandma, she had a hip replacement, the product that they used was faulty, and it was because of somebody either just blowing it off
Taking
or
shortcuts.
really intentionally taking a shortcut, like you
Right.
said, that's a problem. And not only do you not want grandma to suffer anymore, but you don't want anybody else's grandma to suffer either.
Right.
So, of course, but they can't represent themselves. And so I think you're right, though. I think the reputation sometimes looks different than what it really is. I mean, you're protecting the people that are injured, and as you should, and potentially future injured people. That's a pretty humane thing to do.
Well, I appreciate that. The law is complicated. It really
Yeah.
is. And as you mentioned earlier, Nancy, it changes all of the time. And you guys are professionals in what you do. And
Well, okay, we are.
I fake it once in a while.
That's the reputation in the community. Anyways, okay.
Oh, good.
It's true. But when you said people can't represent themselves,
Right.
they have a choice to do so if they wish, but it would be a foolish endeavor because the process is complicated, the laws are complicated, and most people do need somebody to be their voice.
Right.
Well, it's a very intense and involved game. And you got to know the rules to the game. And if you're not an attorney, you don't know the rules to the game.
And your emotions have nothing to do
Nope.
with the law.
You can't
Sorry,
you can't let them in.
nothing to do with the law.
Nope.
Nope.
Well, what I unfortunately have to tell people quite a bit is that in an ideal world, the law is meant to create fairness and that everything should turn out in a fair way. But there's a lot of things in the law and in the process that isn't fair. And to your point, there's a lot of rules on how to get from point A to point B to achieve what you hope is fair. And there's always somebody on the other side who knows those rules. And if you don't follow each step in the right way, the merits of your case are never going to be heard.
Right.
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 Well, and the important things don't come out.
Yeah. There might be some detail that you would never think is important, but your lawyer knows darn well that just that one sentence makes your case. I mean, that information has to be in there. A layperson doesn't know that.
Yeah. Not only that, but how it's put together, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the difference between what we do and a lot of other professions is that there's always somebody on the other side trying to undo what you're doing. And I've told people there is no way I could have ever been, and I'm just not born with the kind of intelligence to be a surgeon, but surgeons at least don't have other surgeons on the other side of the table undoing all the
Right.
stitches
No,
and
they have
work.
the exact opposite.
Right. That's true. It's not a game. That's not what I mean. But it's a competition
Right.
for sure.
It can be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an adversarial situation.
Yeah.
In the courtroom.
And if you're in it all the time, at least from where I come from, it is kind of a game because you're constantly trying to beat the other guy. When we
Who
put
knows?
something
I
together.
mean, it is. Who knows the law better?
Right.
You're both right. It can be in many ways a competition. It can be a will of wits. In my career, most of the attorneys against whom I've gone up in cases have been ethical and straightforward, and we've been able to have a good fight about the things that we ought to be fighting about. And I appreciate it when I have an opposing attorney who has practiced in that manner, because to me, that's the proper way to do it. But it's naive to think that every attorney or every insurance company or even every attorney who does the kind of work we do is going to follow those same standards.
Or every single person that you represent. Like, how many times has a surprise come up that, the client doesn't say? Or
There's good and bad, and we all suffer from them.
Right. It's an interesting, hindsight being 2020, my dad was right. In our family, my brother is an attorney.
Oh.
He lives in Indianapolis, and he is an attorney down there. But in hindsight, I should have been the attorney, and my brother should have been like some sports lawyer or something, because that's all he does. And so, looking back, if I would have focused and I would have realized that, I love learning about that stuff. I love the intricacies. I love the details and the strategy with which that particular case was presented in that particular light. And so this was the outcome. But yet there is an argument on the other side for some other detail that just placed in a different line of questioning could completely change the whole outcome. And so that is huge. Now, I'm far too old to even get into anything like that, but I understand the challenge and just the love for the challenge.
Well, I disagree. You're never too old.
Well,
but I do agree with a lot of what you said. We don't live in a black and white world.
no.
And when it comes to legal disputes, sure, there are statutes that provide you with words in black and white, and they carry certain meaning. And there is case law that is in case books that have certain meanings and have to be followed. But amongst all of that, it's not black and white. There are
human.
different ways to look at things.
Very deep gray.
Yeah.
Runs very, very deep.
Very deep gray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
One of the things you mentioned, Nancy, is that your brother's an attorney. What do you know what kind of law he practices?
Yeah, he's in real estate. We'll call it real estate law. Yeah, he does. He actually works. They have a client that does is a mortgage company, so foreclosures and things like that. But he has told me on a number of occasions that he is the guy that goes and makes a deal to not foreclose. That's the worst thing that he could possibly do. I'm not sure I believe him, and I can say that because he's my brother.
Of course.
But he has tried several different areas, and after COVID, this is where he landed. And so I do actually believe him that the last thing they want to do is remove somebody from their home. That's what he says.
I like that the way he thinks about it.
The mom. That's what he inherited from mom. Now, see, my dad would say, "Go at him!"
Yeah.
So
Well,
Throw them out.
right.
it kind of reminds me.
You don't pay, you don't stay.
That's
Heard
right.
that somewhere before.
Well, there are some instances where you have to be pretty aggressive.
Absolutely.
Or you're going to get run over.
Sure.
Yep.
But, one of the things you mentioned when talking about your brother reminds me of one of the reasons why I joined Habush Habush Rottier. I was handling the same type of cases, personal injury, negligence cases, at my former job. But as I told you, I was representing insurance companies. I represented the Milwaukee County bus system and other various grocery stores and other corporations. And we were defending against people who were pursuing or bringing a personal injury case. So when I came to this firm, I was fairly well versed in the general legal principles at issue in these cases. But what I'm getting at is that when I was on the other side, as they say, and I would have a jury trial, for example, and if it turned out well, in other words, favorable for the defendants, a lot of the response that I would get from my insurance company client was, see, we told you all along that we were right. And if, God forbid, you ever had a situation where the case didn't turn out as well as they had hoped, then you were sort of made to feel like, it was something you did.
Right.
But what the real point is that my job then was really trying to save an already pretty wealthy industry additional money.
Right.
And at Habush Habush and Rottier, we only represent individual people who have found themselves in a situation through no fault of their own.
Mm-hmm.
And they may be missing work. That doesn't mean the bills don't stop coming to your house. And they may have a ton of medical expenses, not all of which are covered by your health insurance.
Right.
The point is that if we can ultimately do what we do to get the responsible party to cover those things, and I've perhaps changed the life of an individual person, that brings great meaning
Right.
to what I do. And so, what comes along with that is sometimes being a counselor, being an ear for somebody, just listening to
Right.
them. But ultimately, if I'm doing my job the right way, I feel like I've put them back on their feet.
Right. That's kind of how he feels about it. He said he likes to sleep at night. So trying to get things worked out with people so they can stay in their homes and they can get back on their feet. That's exactly what he said. And so it sounds the same thing with you. And you're right, Habush. I mean, that's what you guys do is you defend those that, like you said, individuals and families and moms and dads that are trying to support families and stuff. And even I would guess, even if there was a little bit of fault on the client, that doesn't mean that it's 100%. And there's still, like you said, it's appropriately assigning responsibility where it should be.
Right. Yeah. I mean, this could be pretty boring for your listeners here, but for what it's worth, a little tidbit of the law is this. If somebody acted negligently and you got hurt because of it, the law still looks at you too.
Right.
Because sometimes it takes two to tango.
Sure.
And there are circumstances in which both Party A and Party B share in some of the responsibility. Mm-hmm. So here's the kind of nerdy little legal bit that most people don't know, which is that if you're the one who is injured and you are pursuing compensation for your medical bills, wages, or other damages you have, but you're even 1% more at fault than the other party, you're not entitled to any recovery whatsoever.
What?
So you always have to be able to establish with the evidence that the other party is at least 50% at fault or more. And as a hypothetical, if, say, you go to court and a jury is evaluating the facts in a car accident case and they say that the defendant is 50% at fault and the plaintiff is 50% at fault, then the plaintiff, the one who's bringing the claim, is only able to recover 50% of their damages, 50% of their medical expenses, 50% of their wage loss, and 50% of whatever the jury deems to be fair and reasonable compensation for their pain and suffering.
Right.
So that's something that I don't think most people know, but is certainly part of any discussion I have with a new client.
Right, for sure. But I think that's fair.
It is fair.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm not outnumbered on that, right? Like, okay.
We've dealt with that. People pick fights and get beat up. I'm not going to charge the guy that's a better fighter.
Right.
Who started it?
Right.
Prior to 1995, it was a little bit different.
Right.
You could be, if you had a situation and you could prove that somebody else was negligent, even if they were only 1% at fault, you could recover 1% of whatever your damages are. But after 1995, the law changed to what they now call a comparative negligence scenario.
So,
there used to be, and maybe you guys have heard of this too, but there was somewhat of an urban myth that you were 10% at fault for being there. Did you ever hear that?
Oh, yeah.
And that's absolutely nonsense.
Yeah, legally parked car. Well, you're 10% at fault because you were there.
Huh?
Yeah, that was for years. That was said.
Man, I'm 10% at fault for a lot of stuff. Then.
Well,
it's not
just
Chris.
being
I
there.
might need a lawyer.
I know where you can go.
Oh, jeez. Anyway, speaking of where people can go to find you, how do we reach out to you? What phone number? Where's the office? How would you like for people to learn more about your office?
Yeah, thank you for asking. So we're located at 851 Park Drive, Suite 102. We're right across the street from Veterans Park here in town. Our telephone number is 262-248-5200. And I'd encourage anybody to look at our website, which is habush.com, www.habush.com.
It's very easy. If you Google Habush and Rottier, it comes up everywhere.
It's kind of
Nobody
common.
else comes up. Yeah. It really is. Nobody has not heard of your law firm. Like, that's just, nobody hasn't heard of Habush and Rottier. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Well,
everybody knows you.
Yeah, as I stated earlier, we've been around a long time. So this is, like I said, our 95th year of being in existence. It's just kind of funny. I think we were the first law firm to ever have a television ad because prior to the 1980s, it was forbidden by the Wisconsin Supreme Court. So Bob Habush, who was one of the probably the most well-known attorney in this state, perhaps ever, and one of the most successful, was really the first Wisconsin attorney to have any advertisement on TV. And much like our conversation today, he did a little bit called Knowing the Law, and he would share tidbits about the law on television commercials. And as unfortunately all of us know, now you cannot get away from attorney television advertisements.
But that's okay because they're all different. And you can tell exactly what you're getting when you watch those, but you can also tell exactly what you're getting when you look at the website. You always want to do your research no matter who you're hiring anyway. You guys have a very comprehensive website that tells you exactly, how they can help you. And so you definitely want to, if you need somebody, if you need their help, look there, give Chris a call. What's the phone number again?
262-248-5200.
I mean, it's really simple to find out information about Habush in Lake Geneva.
Well, I'll tell you, there's a lot of really good attorneys in town.
Absolutely.
No question. And I know a great number of them, and many of whom have been in this community or at least in Walworth County for a long time. And I have a lot of respect for them. Many of them will do your will, handle your traffic ticket, take on your personal injury case and your divorce, and sell your house. And there is a place for the hometown attorney who can
100%.
do it all.
Right.
On the other hand, we live in a very specialized world. And my point is that because we specialize in personal injury cases of all different types, and that's all we do on a day-to-day basis, we carry with us a special amount of expertise to make sure every I is dotted, every T is crossed, every rock is turned up.
Yeah. It's okay to have a specialty.
Yeah. Especially when you do it all the time, you should be pretty good at it.
Right. I don't want my brain surgeon being a lawyer too.
Or flipping burgers.
Right. Flipping burgers.
Like
I want just focus on focus on what you're good at, and that's clearly what you guys have done. Chris, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks.
We so appreciate it. And give them a call. Personal injury. Obviously, you can call and tell whoever the story, and then if it's something that you guys can take on, then you will let them know.
Absolutely. I would tell you, I will speak with anybody about anything. Every consultation is free. Nobody ever pays us out of their own pocket. We are paid on a contingent fee basis, which means that it's a percentage of whatever amount of money we recover, either through an agreed upon settlement or via a jury verdict.
Right. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. The pleasure was all mine.
Chris Duesing from Habush and Rottier right here in Lake Geneva, 248-5200. You can give them a call if you think that maybe you need their services. In the meantime, we'll be right back with more Life Matters right after this on Lake 96.1.
Life Matters continues on Lake 96.1.
Welcome back to Life Matters. Now, as you know, one of my favorite things to talk about on the show is Yerkes Observatory and the progress, because it was very depressing during the time that we didn't know what was going to happen to it. And then, now all of a sudden, it is even more awesome than we could have possibly imagined. We did have Walt on a few weeks ago, and he talked about some of the things that were going on at Yerkes, including like the glass tree was there over the holidays and things like that, or is still there, I think. So anyway, but we have Sloan Sullivan here, and she has a very unique connection to Yerkes, and we will get to that in just a few minutes. But she is the author, along with her granddaughter, of a beautiful book called The Blueberries of Life. Sloan, welcome.
Thank you.
She's a first-time guest on the show. And tell us a little bit about yourself first. You're a local.
I am.
Yep.
lived here since 5th grade.
Oh,
I
yeah.
originally lived in Mount Prospect, which makes me a Bears fan.
Oh, no. We're going to talk about the Bears
Sorry.
later, too.
So I have a passion for Lake Geneva.
Mm-hmm.
All my life I've lived here, and I didn't think I'd be writing a book about Lake Geneva until my granddaughter one day said to me when she was 7, Grandma, life is like a pancake. It's really good, but when you add blueberries or grandparents to life or a pancake, you're the blueberries of life. And I thought to myself, wow, I think we should write a book.
That is right.
And so she agreed, and we started writing. And I decided Lake Geneva needed to be in it, and I did put Yerkes in it because I have a passion for Yerkes as well. It just turned into a huge deal.
Now, your granddaughter's name is Brooklyn.
Yes, and she lives in El Paso.
I was going to say, she doesn't live in the cold like us. Oh, Brooklyn's so lucky.
I know.
She doesn't know what she's missing.
But that's really far away. I know I have grandkids that do not live nearby. They live down in Indianapolis, and thank God for FaceTime.
Thank goodness for FaceTime. We actually talk about it a little bit in the book.
Yeah.
But I think you need one of these books, Nancy.
Yeah. Well,
Because
I did go
it's
through
about
it a
faraway
little bit.
grandparents.
Yes. I did glance through the book because I am actually going to put in a pre-order for the next book because that's one of the reasons why you're here. And that's the connection to Yerkes that we were talking about. You have a second book in the series coming out with Brooklyn, and it is called
The Blueberries of Life, TOO, Brooklyn Discovers Yerkes Observatory.
Oh, look at that. Second in a series.
Yes.
And but this one, you have created a fundraiser for Yerkes Observatory.
Yes, and you can still pledge on the Kickstarter. It is under my name, Sloan Sullivan. And yes, I was approached by one of the board members from Yerkes to write a sequel. And it just happens to coincide with the beautiful new play space that they're going to be putting in Yerkes this summer. And I am so fired up about it.
So that was one of the things that Walt talked about was that play space, right, Tom? And he, they are working so hard just to make that such a grander destination than it already is. But now you have the added attractions that they're, like the play space.
Yeah, to keep up with everything that's changing, too.
Yeah. And there's a reason why they call it play space.
Right.
Sloan, you even said it's play space, right? Because it's space, duh, Nancy.
Right. We've been corrected.
There's a connection.
Yes.
We've all been corrected, as we should be.
Going to be,
as we should be.
I would call it almost a learning center for the kids. It's going to be a playground with a rocket slide and all of that, but it's also going to be a place to learn. They're going, if everything goes as planned, it's going to have a theater, heated bathrooms.
Can't beat that.
Anyway, but talk about the first book. You started, how long did it take you? How'd you guys put it together, the ideas? Talk about the first book, because the second book had to have come a little bit easier. Plus you had Yerkes as the subject matter.
Oh
so
my goodness.
That stuff kind of literally
unlimited
falls out of the
material
sky,
there.
right?
Yes, though I feel a lot of pressure to do it absolutely justice, but we'll talk about that. So she said this when she was 7, the profound statement that grandparents are the blueberries of life, which they are. And now we call everyone the blueberries of life. It's just become our family motto, right? So this is cute. So she turned 9, and I said, I'm coming down to El Paso to see you. And she goes, will you be bringing the book? And I said to myself, the book, which I hadn't started yet. So that's where Paul Turnbaugh comes in. Paul Turnbaugh is a local illustrator. He did the poster for the glass tree this year at Yerkes. And I found him, and he immediately did a pancake illustration so I could take it down to El Paso.
Oh, nice.
And I could save face.
Save the day.
Yes. So
Brooklyn, don't listen to this.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And
she knows the story.
She was thrilled with the page that it had been started. And once I started it, it took a year, start to finish. I found a publisher, Simon & Schuster, Archway, and it just, it snowballed.
Yeah.
And then it published, and it came out December 11th, so exactly a year ago. And we were like, if we just sell a couple copies, that'll be great. And next thing I know, it was selling hundreds.
Isn't that cool?
And now it's selling thousands. Yes.
Cool.
So
Congratulations.
it's become just a passion and a joy, and it's something we love to do together. So this is funny. She Googled herself the other day, and she goes, Grandma, we're kind of famous.
Oh,
She's 11 now.
that is so cool.
Isn't that cute?
That is very cute. This is an experience, lifetime experience that she is never going to, and she will use this experience as she gets older and she reflects on it.
For so many
and learns so
reasons.
many different more things, right.
And she even put her two best friends in one of the pages. And so they, hopefully will go on to be writers. They know they can do this. People say all the time, I'm going to write a book, and they don't do it. But I'm here to say you can do it.
You can. You
Yes.
can. And so we're talking to Sloan Sullivan, author of The Blueberries of Life and the upcoming new book as well. So the new book, kind of going through the same process?
Same process, much easier.
I bet.
Yes. So it's great because we have done some television shows, which is great, and they're waiting for the book to be done. So I appreciate that you had me on early because we do need some funding. It's expensive to write a book, and we are going to be donating $1 from every book sold to the new play space.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Yes.
And we're excited to do that. We also donate to nonprofits in the area already. And I am joining the Lake Geneva Women's Association, which I'm thrilled about.
You should, yes.
She has a long title.
I have a long history with them. Yeah,
I can't say enough about those ladies.
They do wonderful things. Well, they're the women's JCs. You know,
Right.
the JCs don't except that they don't cut you off when you're 40. Thank goodness, because there's a wealth of information of women over the age of 40.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
Life starts at 60, I heard.
Oh, good, because I'm not quite there yet. So good. I'm glad to know. Except I don't know where I'm going to get the energy for that. But
Well, I think I'm a perfect example. I've become an author at age 60.
Right.
Right?
That is
And
a perfect
now
example.
I have a series going, so I feel like life has just started all over again for
isn't
me.
that exciting?
It
Do you have
is.
other grandkids?
I do. I
Okay.
have a grandson in Breckenridge, Colorado. He's going to be 2. And then I have a dear little girl coming in March.
Yay!
congratulations.
The babies.
I
Think of all the
know.
books you're going to write.
I know. Well, yes. With parent approval. I'm finding out that that's a thing.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
yeah, I imagine.
Yeah.
Brooklyn's dad is all about just do it. And we have other parents involved that are not wanting their kids so much in the limelight, which is okay.
Trying to
Right.
protect them.
Yes,
a little
for
bit.
sure.
Yeah.
That's okay. But as you move on and as technology moves on, there are ways to protect that. I mean, you can write a book under a different name, but the kids still participate. So there are ways, like you'll be able to incorporate the kids and
Yes,
all the kids in the
I hope
books in
so.
some way, shape, or form because it's too joyful not to.
Right. And
You know
I'm
what I
not
mean?
stopping here.
No.
No.
Because that was my next question. Do you have plans for others afterwards?
I
And
do.
So, yeah.
I do. I have little snippets in my mind, but nothing that's could actually say concrete.
It all
yeah.
starts with a snippet.
Yeah.
It does start with a snippet. That's
Easy
hard to
for
say.
me to say.
Tongue twister, right?
It's true, though. It's
Yes.
true. I mean, you get an idea in your head, but then, honestly, you get the idea in your head. How do you put it on paper? How do you organize it? And then you're working with at the time she was 9, right? 10?
Right. And
So
we
you're-
would FaceTime, as we were talking about before,
Yeah.
which is a great thing for grandparents. I hope everybody takes advantage of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's intimidating at first, but boy, they understand it like early on.
Right.
At 1 month, they were smiling at my voice, right?
Yeah.
And I'm a faraway grandparent for all 3.
Yeah.
So you have to FaceTime. You have to do things like this. Maybe traditions are important, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you might not write a book together, but something like this that you can have and hold.
Right.
So is this just out of conversations you guys had? Or were both of you working on ideas for the book or what you were putting in it?
So I would call her and say, I think I want to make a page about you taking us, rock climbing.
Right. Okay.
And she would say, I think that's a great idea, but let's have my friends on the sides first and have you guys maybe struggling on the bottom. And then the dogs are even farther down.
Right.
So, yeah, it was fun. It was just fun to do it with her. I can't even tell you how much.
Isn't it amazing how much is in the mind of a child
they're
at that
so
age?
smart.
Because they have no boundaries, right? Their imagination hasn't been
Limited.
affected at all,
Yeah.
right? And limited by
Limited.
big people yet, hopefully. And so, because I've always said, right, like algebra, I think you can teach a kindergartner how to do algebra. You just can't tell them, oh, you can't do that yet. You're not old enough. They can do anything. Kids can do anything.
Their minds are sponges.
Yeah,
Yes.
until some big person tells them that they can't do that or they shouldn't do that, and that's what cuts them off. And so they can do anything. And I would imagine that you almost had to control some of the imagination because there can only be some. It's a children's book.
I hated to tell her no
Right.
for anything. Oh my gosh. She would come up with an idea and I was like, ooh, just a little far off the beaten path.
But maybe the next book or
maybe-
the next
right.
book. Right. I mean, that's
Exactly.
Or it can lead you into a more useful idea.
right.
For
right,
sure.
Right.
And so I would run with that. But she was pretty adamant about what she wanted in the book.
Yeah. Good
And then
for
I
her.
had a friend who said, I don't read a children's book or buy one unless it has a recipe. And she's the owner of Chuck's in Fontana. And so she said to me, I'm willing to do the recipe. And I said, great. And so I'm going to give you a little sneak peek into the next book. She wrote a blueberry pancake recipe for this one, but we're going to have a cosmic dessert for the second book.
Really?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Isn't that great?
That's a great idea.
Yeah, so it's also a melding of friendships. It's a melding of this community, and that's another thing I really want to touch on here in Lake Geneva. This book would not be where it is today without the Lake Geneva, Fontana, Williams Bay, Walworth community. They just embraced me and this book and my granddaughter. Next thing I know, we're doing signings, in furniture stores,
Right.
brick and mortar.
Right.
Fontana Home. So many people have been so instrumental in where this book is today.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we've talked about this, I don't know, many, many shows, many, many times about how this community and Walworth County in general, but even our whole listening area, but specifically these communities, we work as a team.
So unique.
Like you do not succeed if you are not a part of a bigger movement. There's power in numbers, and we have all figured that out.
Right.
And so we do, just like you said, all of these people came together from places you never even thought about that we're going to come and support.
Exactly. I have met so many people from this experience, and I didn't even know existed here.
Right.
Right.
There's a whole foundation in this area that
Yeah,
I
you
just can't say enough about.
You get help from people you never even met.
Exactly. And the kindness. Yes. And I think we are all a family. Even if we don't know each other here, we are.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. So the Blueberries of Life 2, meaning as well.
Exactly.
I had
Brooklyn discovers Yerkes Observatory. It is not being published yet. It's in the pre-published state. You mentioned earlier taking donations and pre-ordering and the Kickstarter campaign. Talk a little bit about that again, so people know where they can go to donate or pre-order the book. And it's not like you can't pre-order the book for the holidays and then print something for somebody
And tell them
say,
it's coming.
Yes,
Yes.
it's coming. I've
Great
got
stocking
you,
stuffer.
one of the first copies of this. That's exciting. So
Because we have a fan base already.
Of course.
So that's it. Yes. And it's very encouraging that people are pre-ordering it. And I am so grateful for the donations. So our Kickstarter did end and we did raise $3,000,
Nice.
which is wonderful. But it is still open.
Okay.
And it is under Sloan Sullivan and the Play Space.
Okay.
So you can go there, or Yerkes. It'll pull up for sure. And we really appreciate it. And again, just to have heated bathrooms on the lake, just off the lake path alone. But
Can't beat a heated bathroom.
right.
telling you.
Cannot.
There's something about it.
too short to hover.
But what's wonderful is that I think Yerkes, and I feel it now too, we're going to get children from the ground up interested in Yerkes. And
Yeah.
I think I have goosebumps about this part of it. So our idea is they'll play at the play space, they'll learn a little bit about Yerkes and the history, and then they'll have a nice keepsake to take home with them from the gift shop.
Right.
And so that to me is probably the best part of this, because I was
sure.
a 3-year-old teacher until last August. I was able to retire thanks to the book. And I love children. And I think, again, their minds are sponges. So they're going to be looking over at the domes wanting to know, and they're going to remember coming to the play space. And hopefully that'll be our new generation.
For sure.
Keeping this place, alive and making sure that there are visitors and there's people that will continue the traditions of Yerkes.
You know, I think that we owe it to its history.
We do.
And its place in this community to make sure that it stays alive. Like,
Right.
we went through a very, very scary time there
Yes.
when we did not know what was going to happen to this unbelievably incredible infrastructure and again, the history and tradition, like you just mentioned, we didn't know what was going to happen to it. And thank God the people stepped in, like Diana Coleman and all those
Yes.
people, that they all stepped in and got together, and she got that team together and they made it happen. And we owe it to everybody who put in that effort to make sure that that continues on. And the observatory is wonderful, but all of the different ideas that everybody has to expand, you know, kind of the coverage and the learning aspect of Yerkes, we need to keep that
Right.
going,
and then
sure.
We'll keep Yerkes forever if we get the young generation
Right.
involved.
Right.
Right. If
Right.
they read about it in a book, they're going to want to go see it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the
so
plan.
tell us again, the Kickstarter, you look
So the
under...
Kickstarter's still up. And if you want to, you can actually go to our Instagram page under
Okay.
the Blueberries of Life. And I take private messages all the time for orders. I
Okay.
can get you a signed copy of the original book. I can get you a pre-order with a future signature. And you'll get the locked-in price as well. We know that prices are rising. So you'll get the locked-in price of what this book is, which is $31 with tax.
Okay. And so then we go to Instagram and just search the Blueberries of Life.
Right.
Okay. Or probably Sloan Sullivan
On Facebook.
on Facebook.
Yep.
And then what about, you talked about donations. The donations are through the Kickstarter. Is that what it is? Or through?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Or you can DM. Is that what the young people call
I
it?
don't know.
DM, private message
I'm
me.
not a young people. I don't know.
I know.
I thought it was private message, but I guess it's DM.
Okay.
Me. And I answer all of them.
Right. The Blueberries of Life, of course, is a lovely story about a granddaughter and her grandparents, written by a granddaughter and her grandmother. And it is so sweet. And Sloan, we so appreciate you joining us this
Yes,
morning
thank you.
and telling us about the new book and then reminding us also how important it is to support Yerkes. And we're so thankful that you're making all this effort to do that as well.
Thank you so much. I'm just so honored to be here. Thank you.
No, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
And you have a very Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. It's coming up fast.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Sloan Sullivan on Facebook, or find the Blueberries of Life on Instagram, and you can find out how to get your pre-ordered copy or a copy of the Blueberries of Life that is already in existence, and
Get them both.
get them both. Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, I'd love that.
you can't lose. You can't
Thank
lose.
you.
Right.
Thanks
Get
so
one
much.
and two.
Anyway, thanks so much, Sloan. We appreciate you being
Thank
here.
you.
Coming up next, more Life Matters right after this on Lake 96.1. Did you miss part of the show? You can find Life Matters with Tom and Nancy in its entirety. Just search Life Matters on Spotify, YouTube, or go to lake961.com.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
Stop it.
Whoa. Stop right there.
Stop! Stop it!
Just stop talking.
I'm going to run through this quickly. You have a Just Stop. I would really like to start with you because I am dying to know what it is. Usually I'm the one poking you. So
Yeah, just stop being stupid.
Oh God. Well,
no.
that's such a broad statement.
When it comes, okay, we'll clean it up a little bit.
Okay.
When you're driving,
Oh, okay. Well,
stop being stupid.
Okay.
Last Thursday,
Oh.
extremely foggy. I could not count the number of cars driving with no headlights on.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, and
100%.
it was too foggy to pass. But if you tried to pass, you probably would have been in a head-on.
Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. Foul weather. Make sure your headlights are on.
You know what I don't like?
And
I
it's
don't-
illegal.
I don't like the automatic headlights.
No.
Okay.
I don't either.
I don't like the day running lights and stuff because it's at dusk. Okay. If you turn on your car and those headlights are on in front, you don't always realize that the
don't have
tail lights are
taillights.
on.
Yeah.
Right. It's a horrible invention. You should have to be in the habit of physically turning your lights
agree.
on. I understand that they did it for supposed safety reasons, but I think there's too many cars that I've come up on from behind in the dark that I have only seen the reflection of their taillights,
Right.
but their headlights are on because they're on that automatic
Right.
setting
And if-
on your headlights.
And if you feel you have to have that, all the lights should be on. Either they're all on or they're all off.
Right. I also don't like the automatic set. I like to control, like you just said,
Yeah.
I need to control my own lights.
Right.
But you're right.
And if you're not smart enough to turn them on, you shouldn't be driving.
Yeah. Or you don't remember. That's like putting on your seatbelt. You put on your seatbelt now, right? Okay, reach down and turn your lights on, too.
Mm-hmm. I had to go to Janesville.
Oh, my God.
I was counting telephone poles. I was on Highway 11. I could barely see the third telephone pole.
Oh, my gosh.
That's not a lot of distance.
No, yeah, it was bad.
I turned off 11 at Janesville, and it took me forever to cross the intersection because I couldn't see if anything was coming. And fortunately, the one vehicle I did see had his headlights on.
Right.
So I had plenty of room and I got across. But if they wouldn't have had their headlights on, I probably would have pulled out in front of them.
Yeah, people are stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't understand.
So stop it.
But like I said, I don't understand the argument behind the automatic headlight theory, except that, I guess in that fog, you had people that at least their headlights were on if they weren't cognizant enough to turn their lights on themselves, but you have no tail lights.
Well,
so
and
the
there's a
person
lot of
behind
people that
you can't see.
Yeah, they just don't think of turning them on. Well, I can see.
I know.
But nobody can see
that's
you.
true too, right?
Especially if you're driving a white or light gray car.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it.
Right. Let's see. Just stop. Okay. So Melania, the first lady.
Mm-hmm.
She's got a new movie coming out. Did you know this?
I did not know this.
Yeah. You know what it's called?
No.
Melania.
Wow.
No, it's a behind-the-scenes look at the days leading up to the second inauguration.
Okay.
Donald Trump's second inauguration, if I could say that. Amazon produced it, and it's coming out exclusively in theaters on January 30th. 2026. Obviously, if Amazon produces it, it will show up on Amazon Prime
eventually,
pretty quickly after that. But I know that people don't really think this, but she doesn't like the political spotlight. That's not her thing. She likes helping kids. She likes helping children. She spends her time as First Lady advocating for things like that and using the power of the office to advocate for things like that. She's a very interesting person. She is actually a very fascinating person. This woman knows, I don't know, 7 languages or something.
Several. And very intelligent.
And she is a force to be reckoned with, but a very passive presenter with regard to that. And sometimes that's probably more powerful than just the, say whatever you want.
The unknown.
Although, can I just say that, hey, at least with President Trump, you know exactly where he stands.
Yeah.
You may not like it.
Doesn't mince words.
Doesn't mince words. Doesn't mince words. I feel like maybe he should have sat out the Rob Reiner thing, but then again, I kind of don't, because he wished the family well, but I think he also said what a lot of people were thinking, which is, when people grow up in a house that has the open hostility to some things, anything, when you feel free to exhibit that, and again, very clear hostility, that's catchy. So you have to wonder if, some of these issues were because, you call it passion, I call it, just outright hostility.
I was being nice.
Yeah. You have to wonder, how that affects your kids. And again, being a product of their environment. Nobody deserves to have happen what happened to those people. I mean, holy crap.
But why is there a bigger outcry for him than there was for Charlie Kirk?
Well,
what's the difference?
There was no difference. Neither one of them deserved what happened to them.
Exactly.
And so, but what you find is that, conservative people are very sorry that this happened. And this is horrific. No, we didn't get the exact same reaction when Charlie Kirk was killed.
Right.
So, there is, the nation has a lot to do to come to a, middle of the road, kind of reaction to these kinds of deaths. So getting back to Melania, it's supposed to be an inside look. The trailer is awesome. If you look at the previews of the movie, she's walking out that door in that black dress with the hat on Inauguration Day. Remember how the complete difference in her presentation and how she dressed and everything during the 2 inaugurations. And this time she kind of looked back and said, "Here we go again," and was like, and again, presented herself completely differently.
Right.
I am interested in seeing this movie just because I think that I love that background kind of information and
right.
atmosphere.
And I'm interested because you don't know anything about her.
Right.
She's very private, which I kind of like that.
Right. I think that it's really good. Now, people are making some negative comments like, oh, first movie to gross $0. No, that's not going to happen.
No.
Theaters are going to be full with people from both sides of the aisle wanting to see this because they're going to want to comment however they comment. I think that a lot of people are going to be surprised to learn how intelligent and compassionate and just kind and smart she is. And so it'll just be interesting to see but that's January 30th is when that comes out. So
yeah, we'll have to watch it.
But what I can say is that people just need to stop. You haven't seen the movie, and she is a very private person. So just stop judging.
Yeah, until you got something to judge.
Right. Like, this will be your opportunity to judge because you'll actually have some facts in front of you.
Right.
And then you can judge. Mm-hmm. But it's hard.
Yeah, because right now you're guessing.
It's pretty much hard to judge right now.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, I know that you're a huge Bears fan. And so
nobody knows that.
I don't know if you know this or not, but the Chicago Bears are actually looking for a site in northern Indiana for a new stadium.
Are they going to be the Gary Bears?
God, I hope not.
I remember in the 90s they were talking about moving to Gary, Indiana.
Gary smells really bad. Have you ever been there? It stinks. It's a horrible. It's like this.
Now I'm never going.
No, the industry stuff. Like stinks. It's horrible. It's got a horrible smell to it. Yeah, it's horrible. Yeah, so they don't even want to stay in Chicago.
Gary Bears.
The Gary Bears. Did they change their mascot to like a little gummy bear, like hair, sponsored by Haribo?
That's funny. They got to move to Gary. The Bear Nation will be very upset.
Now they just need to, right? Yeah. You're welcome for the idea. So anyway, no, they're looking. They can't find
Nobody wants them?
Nope. I think that they can't find some place to build their stadium I don't know if it's something they can't afford or if the crime there's a whole lot of reasons to get out of Chicago right now. Maybe I don't know. How many Bear fans are going to drive to Gary, though? Like, Maryville, maybe, because that's a little bit of a nicer town there in northern Indiana. It's right there.
I don't even know how to reply to this
I don't either. So I'm sure that you'll be getting your season tickets for I'm just kidding. I know you're not a Bear fan, but
not even close.
My joke was that the Bears don't even want to stay in Chicago.
Yeah.
They're doing pretty well this year, right?
Yeah, they're doing very good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
They're a good team.
I just watched.
Finally. Okay. But I think the McCaskies will screw it up and they'll not be good
probably.
for long.
Well, that's what they do.
It's a shame.
Yeah. Really quickly, too, my favorite store, Menards.
Yeah.
They were sued for deceptive practices. Deceptive marketing, basically. Yeah, this whole 11%. Right? Well, I guess I never knew that people would think something else. I always knew that 11% came in the form of a rebate that you spend at the store.
Right.
I never thought that I heard anything that's told me that I was going to get a check for 11%.
No, I never
or
thought that
cash in
either.
an envelope for 11% off of everything I bought. Well, apparently people did, and then they got sued. So they have to pay out $4.25 million.
Wow.
Which I don't know where this money goes. Like, Wisconsin's share of it is like $700 or something. $700,000,
$700.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people going to Menards.
Craptastic. So, but they have to pay the state of Wisconsin $700,000. I don't know where that money goes. I've been doing Menards shopping and remodeling with Menards materials for years and years and years, and applying for those rebates and sending in, the information, and it never crossed my mind that they were going to just send me a check. If you're going to take cash off of a product, you do that at the point of sale.
Right. Yeah, you get your discount.
Right. If it's a rebate, because it's on everything that you buy. Right. So that would mean that's coming from Menards itself. That's not coming from each manufacturer.
Don't they all do that? Because I know when Miller does that, they send you, whatever, it's $2 off your next purchase or whatever, like a rebate.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, some people apparently thought that when they went to Menards and they spent $1,000, that Menards was going to send them a check for $110 or what's
$110.
$110, right?
Yeah.
I was right.
You were right there.
I know. Math, not my thing.
Not a math show.
So, but I never thought that. But apparently people did. Huh. Like, am I just not paying attention?
I guess neither one of us are.
I just never.
I never would have thought it.
If you're going to give me cash off, you do that at the register. Like that
Right.
just never crossed my mind. So so they've got to pay out $4.25 million. I think it's silly.
I do too.
I don't know where the money's going. I don't know. Do I just not like it? Never crossed my mind that
Mine either.
a company was going to but apparently people thought they were going to get 11% cash back. And that was never what they said, that as far as I knew.
Yeah, there's a lot of strange people with strange thoughts.
You have to listen to all the words or read all the words.
Yeah, it's best to read all the words.
Skimming doesn't help.
Not really well.
Glancing over, listening halfway. This is how you get yourself into trouble.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Weird. Stop it.
Just stop. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to you guys also.
And, go ahead. Were you going to say something?
Nothing intelligent. It's the last show of the year.
Awesome. Yeah, we ran out of intelligence
out of
3
brains.
shows ago.
I got Santa for more.
We're just gimping along now. Anyway.
It keeps dragging on.
Main Street Messages with Alex is coming up next. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's from everybody here at Life Matters.
Main Street Messages with Alex. Brought to you by the Lake Geneva Business Improvement District.
All right, sweetheart, you've had your fun. Now let's get down to serious business.
Welcome back to another edition of Main Street Messages with Alex Benante. She is the executive director of the Lake Geneva Bid, also known as Downtown Lake Geneva. Good morning.
Good morning.
So we're in the throes of the holiday season.
Yes, knee deep.
Yes.
You better get your shopping stuff done.
Yes. And there's no better place to shop than downtown Lake Geneva. I mean, let's face it.
It's true. It's a Hallmark movie.
It is. It is. How's the windows going? How are all the window decorations going?
Great.
Good?
So we did extend our decorating contest because of the crazy snowstorm during Shop Small weekend. But we've had a lot of participation. We had 40 businesses sign up, and we are going to be announcing our winners a little closer to Christmas, and they even get a trophy this year.
Ooh.
So yes, so it was very competitive, and it's very vibrant downtown, and just romantic to be around there.
It's like you said, it's like a Hallmark movie or whatever. And you know what doesn't make a Hallmark movie, however, is empty storefronts.
Yes.
So can I just ask you, and then I'm asking you because I honestly don't know. You know, one of the things we talked about last week was people taking the ego out of working together and everybody, understanding that small businesses have to work as a team together, and in any city, but especially one like Lake Geneva, a little small town that we're trying, we have some ideas about how to keep it that, like you said, the Hallmark movie kind of town, and not have all the big box stores moving in, or not having national chains take up all of the storefronts. There's some empty ones right now.
Yes.
That's going to come and go always, but what's one of the ways to overcome that? Like, what's the reason why there's some empty one? Like, tell us a little bit about what's going on there.
Sure. So that's a lot of questions all in one.
I know.
But that's a great, yes. So yes, there are some vacant storefronts downtown, and we have seen a little bit of the ebbs and flows. Again,
of course.
Yeah. A healthy dynamic storefront closure, you're looking at maybe a 6% vacancy rate in the state.
Right.
We're a little higher right now, which is abnormal for us. And what we have been noticing in some of the trends and talking with our tenants, especially the long-lasting tenants, is that we're seeing some really large rent increases. And, there's positives and negatives to that. We have seen a really big uptick in visitor experience and visitor spending in the last few years, especially post-COVID.
Yeah.
We really have been set on the map for the past several years.
Sure.
But in that process, there's has to be a healthy balance of, maintaining that local charm that keeps the personality and allowing for entrepreneurship from an individual versus a corporate entity.
Right.
And I think for a while there, a lot of our small businesses have even said this, that they didn't see that risk of that being overtaken by any time soon.
Right.
But actually, we did a resource visit with our Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation partners last year that said very strategically, if we don't start considering this now and planning for the future, as people are going into succession planning when kids are taking over businesses or they're trying to sell it, that's not going to be affordable or sustainable in the future. And who will scoop that up? Corporations.
Of course.
And our storefronts, yes, they're small, but the new market model in these large corporations are creating this falsified boutique experience that takes out the personality.
Right.
And they're looking to locations like Lake Geneva because we are a hotbed of tourism activity. And so now we have this dynamic where landlords are seeing this. They're investing in properties. And a lot of landlords don't live here either. So we have,
They've got no nut in the game.
Exactly.
Right.
And the ones that do have nut in the game, they're making great money. So this is all a net positive for them.
Right.
At the end of the day, why should they care who's there as long as they're occupied? But that's not the healthy dynamic of a small town.
No.
You can get away with that maybe in New York City or Chicago, Michigan Avenue. But their rent rates are a little cheaper than ours even. So
wait, what?
Yes. So the rent rates have increased so dramatically in the last few years that we're looking at $55 a square foot, $78 a square foot. I heard of one tenant that pays $89 a square foot now for their real estate here.
Oh my gosh.
And a triple net lease, which means that they're responsible for everything on top of that. So how do you sustain yourself when your profit margins get lower and lower every year, when your ability to get staff is harder and harder every year, and the cost of living just keeps going up in general? We all feel it.
Right.
So yeah, you can't keep your business open if you can't sell the product and you can't pay your rent. And a larger corporation can do that and buffer.
Right. Because a larger corporation takes all of their stuff, they put it in one pool, and then they dole it out. And so they can actually rob Peter to pay Paul.
Yes.
In a bad year for that particular store or whatever. So, yeah, but a small business, no, they've got nobody to rob.
No, they are us. They are, families to feed, the kids to put in school, and they pour their heart and soul into that. Businesses, small business owners, that's not a job. It is literally like
life.
Yes, I grew up in small business. As you know, my parents owned a restaurant, and like to this day, we make fun of the fact that that restaurant was like the middle child in the family because all the attention had to go to that angry child.
Yeah.
My parents missed school plays because they had to work because there was no one to do it.
Right.
And I had to get married on a different day of the week because couldn't close on a Saturday. So you make sacrifices as a business owner. Yes.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. I mean, not relevant now anyway because I'm divorced, but it's fine.
Didn't matter what day I left the guy.
Exactly.
No, but that's interesting though, because the other thing about that corporate storefront is nobody's going to come here to go to a store that they can go to at their hometown.
Correct.
Right? Like we saw, what is it? Lululemon?
Yeah, Lululemon or Adidas.
I never get that right.
Yeah.
Right. So they come in here and they put a storefront up here. Well, you can go to one of those stores at the mall in Milwaukee. So why is anybody going to come here to shop if they're just going to be shopping at the same places they can go 5 minutes away from their house?
Exactly.
Like you lose the charm, you lose the Hallmark movie part of it, you lose the uniqueness. And so, we have the lake, but I hate to tell you, not everybody comes here because of the lake.
Correct.
There's also lakes everywhere in Wisconsin that they can visit. They come here because of the combination and the character of the town. But we lose that character if we don't have, like you said, that personal experience going to a store. And nobody treats a store and their customers like small business owners.
Yes. When you walk through downtown now, you see a sandwich board that has quirky sayings on there. And, like the wife drop off for babysitting next to Champ sign. Right. That's one of my favorites. Yeah. Let the wife shop and I go drink a beer.
Right.
No franchise is going to call that,
No.
PR friendly.
No.
You lose personality there.
Right.
And so,
because everything's rubber stamped.
Yes.
Everything has to be the same across the board at all the stores. You can't. They want their branding to be exactly the same throughout the nation, whatever their store is. But you're right. When you have, Jess, she's going to write whatever she wants on that sandwich board.
Exactly. Yeah. We have a small shop owner who is so So it's a souvenir shop, and you can find a souvenir shop in any tourist town. Wisconsin.
As you should.
Yes. Wisconsin Dells has a ton of them, and
of course,
whatever not. But this particular souvenir shop, she's a diehard D&D fan, and she lets it be known, and she is loud and proud of it, and also does the same thing with her Jeep line. So people go because of the personality there, because you can buy Jeep product or D&D product on Amazon.
Right.
Who cares?
Right.
At the end of the day, you're going to see.
But you're not going to go and talk to her.
No.
On Amazon.
No.
Right.
So you're not going to see her kids running around the store,
right,
and asking mom to pick up some socks for her. So you get an experience when you're in a downtown like ours.
Well, and that's the difference. Why? I mean, you can shop, or you can go experience, and you can have fun, and it can be a far more, just a far more well-rounded event in your life.
Right.
And a visit in your life, and a little trip, a day trip, an overnight trip, whatever. But we have to keep the character here. And you're right. Raising rents to the point where it's not like that's just not reasonable. That's just not practical.
No, just because you get it doesn't mean you should get it.
Right. And that doesn't make for long-term
success. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's a defensive planning mechanism, because on the short term, you're going to make that bank. You are making profit, and that is great.
Right. But then when that person moves out and the building's empty for 6 months, all the profit that you just made from the other person before you at the higher rent just left. Whereas if the rent was reasonable and that person signed a 5-year lease, okay, well now you have profit for 5 solid years and you're good to go because it's reasonable and every piece of the puzzle falls into place.
And look at it on an economic
sense.
And on the economic side of things, when you have a long-term tenant and an established business, they are making your building the destination.
Right.
So when that long-term tenant does leave, because maybe they retire or whatever, not for any negative reason.
Right.
Oh, that was that restaurant for 20 years.
Right.
That was that store that, gave me my kids' first shoes for every memorable thing.
Right.
So they get excited about what comes next. That sets up the whole town for success.
Right.
And there's some social responsibility when you are a landlord. It is not just about your paycheck. It is about what are you bringing to the community that you have ownership in.
Right.
And
if you want to make money as a landlord, I think you go buy a commercial building that, manufacturing or distribution or something like that. If you're just in it for the numbers or whatever. But if you're going to own a building in a small town like a downtown Lake Geneva, Elkhorn, Delavan, Burlington, all these little beautiful historic downtowns, that it's if you're in it for the money, then that's probably not going to fare too well. I feel like that's not
not in the long term.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it will for the immediate need of that particular
you gotta pay the mortgage.
Yes.
But
what kind of social stamp are you leaving at the end of the day? Because as you said, it could be left vacant for 6 months. But what's worse is that it won't be left vacant. It will be occupied by someone who will never leave.
Right.
That isn't necessarily bringing any enhancement into the community.
Right.
So you do that. That's the legacy you leave. You don't want that necessarily either.
Right.
So it's a conversation that has to be had in this town because it's not going away.
Right.
And I think it will come to the point where we are going to have to be very proactive as a city council, as, community stakeholders of, reclaiming the ownership of our character in town.
Right. So we're talking with Alex Benante. She's the executive director of the Lake Geneva Business Improvement District, also known as Downtown Lake Geneva. Thanks for coming in every week and doing this. And we're going to continue on into the next year with Main Street Messages, obviously.
Can't wait.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And you're listening to Main Street Messages and Lake 96.1. Have a great Sunday.